In the basement of the Israel Museum sits an inscription that could revolutionize how millions understand their faith. It reads, "I bless you by Yahweh of Samaria and his Asherah." For decades, this discovery has been confined to academic circles, but its implications are too important to ignore. I'm Dr. Michael Harrison, and I'm about to show you archaeological evidence that reveals one of history's most significant cover-ups. The God of the Bible didn't emerge as a lone deity. He had a divine partner, and their relationship shaped the foundation of monotheism itself. The evidence isn't limited to one inscription. At Khirbet el-Qom, archaeologists found similar blessings invoking both Yahweh and Asherah. In Israelite homes across the ancient landscape, thousands of female figurines have been discovered, not hidden away, but displayed prominently in domestic spaces. These aren't foreign influences. They're evidence of how ordinary people actually practiced their faith. Here's what makes this discovery so revolutionary. Asherah wasn't just any goddess. She was the mother figure of the Canaanite pantheon, the consort of El, and according to these inscriptions, the divine partner of Yahweh. The archaeological record shows that for centuries, Israelite households worshipped both the father god and the mother goddess. This explains so much about the biblical narrative. Why do the prophets spend so much time condemning goddess worship? Why do kings like Josiah need to implement reforms, destroying Asherah poles? Why does the Bible contain passages that seem to acknowledge other deities? The answer is that these texts weren't describing ancient errors. They were fighting ongoing practices. The archaeological evidence shows that every Israelite settlement contained household shrines where families practiced domestic religion that included goddess traditions. These provided fertility blessings, protection in childbirth, and feminine divine presence that complemented Yahweh's warrior and storm god characteristics. Consider the practical reality. You're an ancient Israelite farmer. Yahweh might protect your nation in battle, but when your wife is in labor, you want the mother goddess present. When your crops need rain, you invoke both the storm god Yahweh and the fertility goddess Asherah. This wasn't theological confusion, it was religious pragmatism. The transition from this divine couple to exclusive monotheism wasn't sudden revelation. It was a gradual, contested process that took centuries. The archaeological record shows that even after official reforms, household worship continued to include goddess traditions. Female figurines appear in Israelite homes throughout the monarchic period and beyond. What's fascinating is how this struggle shaped the biblical text itself. The Hebrew Bible preserves evidence of this controversy while simultaneously arguing against it. The editors created what I call an editorial miracle. They acknowledged competing traditions while crafting a unified narrative that could adapt to changing circumstances. The biblical editors understood that religious texts need flexibility to remain relevant across changing circumstances. By preserving multiple perspectives, they created a document that could speak to different situations while maintaining core identity. This explains why the same God appears as both warrior and peaceful father, why monotheistic passages coexist with acknowledgments of other deities. This research doesn't diminish the spiritual significance of monotheism. It reveals how human communities actively wrestle with ultimate questions. The movement from polytheism to monotheism represents one of humanity's most profound theological developments, and understanding how it actually happened makes it more remarkable, not less. The implications extend far beyond ancient history. Understanding how monotheism actually developed helps us appreciate religious traditions as living, evolving responses to human needs rather than static systems. The fact that Yahweh once had a divine partner doesn't threaten modern faith. It reveals how religious communities adapt ancient insights to new circumstances. This is why archaeology matters for understanding religion. It shows us how real people actually practice their faith, not just what official texts claimed they should believe. The gap between official theology and lived religion has always existed, and understanding this gap helps us appreciate the full complexity of religious experience. The continued evolution of Yahweh through Christianity, Islam, and modern reinterpretations shows that this process of adaptation hasn't ended. Each generation faces the challenge of maintaining connection to ancient wisdom while addressing contemporary needs. The same creative forces that enabled this divine partnership continue to operate today. If you want to understand how this theological evolution worked and why it was so successful, The Warrior God provides the complete analysis with detailed archaeological evidence. The link is in the description.